What's up, and welcome to Two Balls, One Puck, podcast where we talk about the Buffalo Bills, Sabres, and New York Yankees. My name is Tommy. I'm here with my two brothers, Joey and Jacob. It is June 25th, 2023. It's a Sunday night. It's warm outside. I just got back from a graduation party. Joey's tired. He's complaining. He won't shut up about it. And he can tell you all about it. Hi, Joey.
Sleep is considered one of the most important things in life, and Jacob's not really good at it either. But yeah, I don't sleep enough, Dom. So I am tired.
I don't actually sleep enough either, to be honest with you.
What's your average?
I've complained about that.
Take a 7-day week. Well, that might be too much math for you. No offense. Take like your average 3 nights in a row, because sometimes like you have stuff going on. So like on average 3 nights, what do you get? 24 would be 8 a night. Like, what's your average per 3 nights?
16 to 18.
So you're sleeping 6 or less hours?
Yeah. And unfortunately, when I do sleep longer amounts of time, I'm waking up in the middle of the night sometimes, which I did not used to do. It's just not good quality sleep anymore, which is really deters sometimes my day. I have to like find other ways to get energy throughout the day.
I think I really do want it, and maybe I'll ask Santa Claus for it for Christmas. Is like I think it's called
Joey
Whoop.
Santa's.
Is it Whoop? Is that it? Don't tell me, Tom.
Okay.
Santa's real. Whoop, is it? Like the bands you wear tracks your sleep and stuff. I know
No
they
idea.
make one called an Aura Ring, and I almost
wrong.
bought it. It was like $400, so I didn't.
Sounds like it should be
I'm
called
a little tired,
Awake.
but it's not going to prevent me from
Talking
lively
sports.
conversations about our 3 favorite sports teams. But yeah, no, it's beautiful here in Western New York. Spent my whole day working, but that's the way life goes. And Jacob,
we have
somewhere actually probably warmer.
We have another brother, but he's not in the room with us right now. That's why we forgot that he's here.
We'll actually do our best in this episode to remember that Jacob is a part of this podcast, even though he is hundreds of miles away. Jake, where are you and why are you there?
I'm currently in St. Simons, Georgia, St. Simons Island in Georgia. I am on the first vacation of my life, actually. So 22 and a half years took me to do a
big
full
dub.
real vacation. I vacation from some things. Vacation from being the brain's best hair and, to be honest, just the most entertaining person on a podcast.
It literally looks
no
like
vacation.
there's I know there's the term mop head, but it currently looks like you genuinely have a nice microfiber mop rested on your head.
So here's the thing.
It looks like a hairpiece before they get cut.
Thank you. I just got off the court. I just got finished winning significant margins on the tennis court. So
against your girlfriend, who started playing tennis a couple of years ago.
No, her and her dad.
You should be proud of yourself. Well, Jake, how long are you down there for, bro? I mean, I guess
I have no idea.
No,
he could have moved down there permanently, and I wouldn't have known.
Nope.
Here until August 1st, so it's gonna be a while. No, I'm kidding. I'm here for like 6 days.
That's literally August. I just went like that's still a week, but that's cool, dude. So a couple of eps, Jake will be remote, but thank you to Media One Radio Group and their awesome recording studio here allows us to have Jakey in on live time, and decided to record with you guys tonight. Jake, I'm glad you traveled safe. He drove down too. That's a hike.
Jacob drove.
I drove most of the way. Annika, my girlfriend, drove a good portion as well.
Shout out to Annika.
4 hours.
Shout out
Annika.
Are you a podcast or a music guy or what in the car? Or is it like depend on who you're with?
It totally depends. If I'm alone, podcast, audiobook. I listen to so much music for my life because I'm a musician and I've been in music school for so many years and counting that I try not to do. I'm kind of been recently not doing a lot of music for entertainment, which is kind of sad because I love it so much. But I'm at the point right now when I hear music, I just go into analyst mode and I can't get away from that. So I haven't been listening to a lot of music for fun recently. So podcasts.
Sometime last summer, dude, I genuinely, like, for the first time in my life, music was like, I don't want to say music was boring, but I work a lot of hours and I always had music playing at work. And so, like, I don't know.
What kind of music were you listening to? Because if you
a variety of everything.
If you ever get to the
oldies,
point,
classic rock. I love the Lumineers and Mountain Joy and kind of like the modern folk and stuff.
Okay, well that's why you felt music was boring, because you were listening to the most boring music ever made. Hey, only a true loser can ever say that they think music gets boring to them. There's so much music out there that you can never.
I don't think Joey said music's
boring. That's not
boring.
what I was saying. I was bored of listening to music. I was cycling through genres every day.
Yeah, you were bored of listening to music. How can you ever be bored of listening to music?
Do you listen to music 60 hours a week?
No, but I listen to music every single day in some capacity.
Do that a couple weeks in a row, and it's going to be like, okay, there's nothing that I really want to listen to. So I was just going to say that I'm a big podcast guy, especially when I'm driving, when I'm by myself.
Is that why you started a podcast called Two Balls?
There is a podcast you guys should check out. It's called Two Balls, One Puck. It is.
That sounds like a very funny innuendo of something I know.
There's one guy on there who just nails it.
That'd be me. So, okay, well, on that show, Two Balls and One Puck, I'm pretty sure it's just Two Balls, One Puck, not and. There's no and. I'm pretty sure they talk about the Bills, Sabres, and Yanks, so that's what we're going to do.
That's some 3 sports teams that I could get with, man.
That's
cool.
What it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
That is what it is.
It is what it is. One more thing. Jacob said this is his first ever vacation. To be fair, we weren't really vacation. We were not a vacation family. No. Our vacation, because we had so many kids, and vacations were a nightmare, and our parents sunk all of the money that they ever earned into us playing hockey, other sports.
We also had no time. Like, there was never a 2-day period
we played sports
that we had time.
And we went to our family reunions. Yeah. And here's a fun fact for everybody to know about our family, because I'm sure you guys have these conversations with people all the time about our reunion, right? For those, what do you want?
You're just really close to the mic.
I've backed up from the microphone, per Joey's wishes. For those who might have their family reunions and whatnot, a lot of the times family reunions are probably like, a day long, maybe something like that. A couple days you get together.
Yeah, or like 4 hours.
I think they have a bad stigma around them too, like in general. Like, in general, family reunion, you know.
Like you get together, whatever. You get together, you know, you go swimming, you play some outdoor games, barbecue, whatever. So our family is not only our immediate family, but our extended family, and we have several living in the area, is incredibly large, and we're spread out all over the country.
In population, not size.
Correct. And anyway, so this is a very old tradition that started long before us, but our family reunion, the Alimo family reunion, is every other summer. Our family gathers at a state park in Ohio. It's been Ohio for several years now.
It's a central location. We have family all over. Yeah.
For 1 week.
Yep.
We basically have a week-long party vacation. We rent out a cul-de-sac of cabins, and we all stay in these cabins, and we spend an entire week just hanging out, playing games, just hanging out in each other's cabins, having great food every single night. And so our family reunion is something special. It's every other year for a week. And it's incredible. It's one of the best. So those were our vacations growing up. Sure. Was our reunion. So anyway, I
mean, we did little things. We did little things here and there. You know, we made trips out of like our sports trips. If we had like a long weekend, we'd stay an extra day and try to do stuff while we were there. But 7 kids, homeschooled, so that was our mom's job. You know, we never went too many places. So Jacob, I'm glad you can finally experience like actually relaxing and kicking your feet up, and hopefully you can enjoy yourself.
What is that, Jacob? For those who are just listening, Jacob's holding up a little wooden cross and a shell.
Assuming they're at an Airbnb, he's just showing us the decorations on the deck.
That's just sad.
I currently have a shell. There's a shell. Let me see if I can hear the ocean. Oh, wait, no, that's just the actual ocean, because that's where I am.
Hilarious. Well, Jake, enjoy Georgia, and you know what? I think it's about time we get into some sports talk. What do you think?
Yeah, let's talk about the Bills. We're going to kick it off with the Buffalo Bills, the Bill-a-lonies. And there's, again, not a whole lot to talk about in Bills land except for one thing, and that is
2 things.
Two things technically. The Buffalo Bills announced earlier in the week that they have re-signed head coach Sean McDermott and the general manager Brandon Beane to contract extensions through the 2027 season. So really, the one thing to unpack about this is, I think we can all agree, and most Bills fans will agree, that extending Beane is pretty warranted. He's done since he has been the GM in 2017, he's done a quite outstanding job building this team up to be a contender year after year, Super Bowl contenders, and moves like, obviously you can point to the obvious moves like Diggs, signing Von Miller, stuff like that, but even drafting. The small moves, I was going to say trading up to draft guys like, well, we'll see about Kincaid, but drafting Josh Allen. Right? I mean, let's just right there, bang. I mean, that's enough right there. But here's a question for us to discuss. Beane, worth it. But is a 4-year extension right now for Sean McDermott, and I love McDermott. I do. I love McDermott. But has he proven enough right now to deserve an extension? Genuine question.
My main opinion, and coaches have look at Bill Belichick and what he did and what he's doing. I mean, his team's not what he was for so long, but coaches make a big difference. But I think that what's so important about McDermott is not only did the team get better, and Beane did a great job assembling a great group of guys and bringing in young blood and fresh talent and assembling a really great roster. McDermott has created, and I know we talk about this a lot, and it's huge in sports, the culture of the Bills, man. It has to be one of the best in the locker room around the league. And McDermott is so much to be credited for that. And every guy on the team and everyone that played with McDermott and knew him and knows him says just how amazing of a guy he is and how much people want to work for him. And if you're going to win a championship, we've said this and we'll probably say it many times over, you need a good culture. And McDermott has really built that. Keeps guys in the line, and when things get tough, dude, he's been through the ringer too. As much as like his first couple of seasons, it wasn't fantastic, and yet he's still got a great winning record.
Yeah,
so
62%. But here, like, you can say like, okay, well, he's done a great job. He's got the Bills back into the playoffs. We're contenders year after year. I mean, let's be real. We haven't gotten to the Super Bowl. And I know, like, I don't want to sound like a bratty Bills fan right now because we haven't won anything. I understand that. But, we have gotten to the divisional round a couple times. We have been to the AFC Championship game, right? Heartbreaker. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a conversation. It's just a conversation to be had. Right, Jake? I mean, am I crazy?
So here's the question.
Here's
my question.
Am I crazy?
Yes, not for this reason, though. Well, it's a good question to ask.
I'm crazy.
So tell me again, what was the give or take? What season did McDermott first come to the Bills?
17, same as Beane. Beane hired McDermott.
That was hypothetical. What was, give or take, their record in 17, if you had to give a shot at it? It was bad, right?
No. We made the
9-7.
9-7. So it was 18 that was...
Did we make the playoffs in 17? Wasn't that the Andy Dalton
9-7
year?
might get
or
you
was
there.
That 16?
Might get you there. Here's the point.
Yeah.
Same thing with Beane. Same year. Rhetorical. I mean,
yeah, they did.
When they got here.
Sorry, Jake. Yes, they did, and they lost the wild card.
That was the Andy Dalton year,
and then they missed 18.
That was the Andy Dalton year.
Right. Okay. So 18 was the year they missed.
18
so
fourth place in the
here's
division.
the question.
Right.
Here's the question.
They lost to Houston. And,
8 between 17, which, as we know, a manager or coach, general manager, whatever it is, when they get there, the year that they get there is usually not accredited to them, positive or negative. It generally takes a little bit of time, more than one season. So if you move forward and say from 18 on, what more truly would you want your general manager and head coach to have accomplished in 5 years more than the Bills? I mean, obviously the winning the Super Bowl is clearly the answer.
A World Series would have been awesome, Jake.
That would be cool.
For the Bills, that would have been spectacular. I know you're going to say that.
Clearly the answer, is to have the
championship.
Alan can rake.
We've seen him hit.
He hit that bomb in Toronto. Anyway, Jake, I
know what you mean.
So you have the Super Bowl, which they don't have. That's what you want. But in terms, Joey was talking about culture, in terms of what, just attention to your team, which is, has been incredible for the last few years, winning records, playoff appearances, competitive almost every game, but every year. In this time period, they've done better than anything, as good as everything except winning the Super Bowl, which is better than the most teams for these last 5 or 6 years.
So, I mean, I want to point this out. All right, so we know about the heartbreaking Super Bowl losses, 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row back in 89 or 90.
Watch the documentary.
They lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. I've never heard that before.
The records
not
those
ever
years,
rubbed into your face.
Let me point this out. Okay, so they went from being really bad in the late 80s. I mean, 2-14, 2-14, 4-12, 7-8, 12-4, conference out. In 89, 9-7, divisional out. And then the next 4 years, 13-3, 13-3, 11-5, 12-4. Looking at the season where McDermott came in, 9-7. Familiar. Next season, 6-10. So,
Future teller, Joey.
A little step back there, but we know that there was a lot of transition in the team. A lot of stuff going on. And the last 4 seasons, 10-6, 13-3, 11-6, 13-3. So, looking at what McDermott has done when he came in, it's going the right direction. But it brings up a really good point. We've seen this in a lot of professional sports, and we actually just saw it this year in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. They had really good coach in Vegas, and they're like, hey, you helped us build this team. We're good. You got us to where we are. But they made a change, and Bruce Cassidy, behind the bench, won the ship. And it brings up the question. So think about it. Sabres right now are on the up and up. Granato's been with them now in these last couple of years in the grind. Say in the next 2-3 years they start really pushing to the finals and they can't quite get there. Do you stick with the guy that took you from the bottom and brought you to there and just can't get it? Or do you look for someone else to get that there? That's kind of the conversation with McDermott, because he's taken this team from a very poor, the year before he came in, 7-9. The year before that, 8-8. And, So he's brought this team up, and Beane's obviously done a great job with the roster as well. But do you stick with the guy? But clearly they want to.
It's a conversation to be had. So, but for right now,
and we're not in the locker room. We're not on the field saying that maybe every single person who works for the Bills, player, trainer, whatever it is, says these two are the reason that we're doing well. These, not the reason, are only positive impacts. Maybe they're just like, if we change, the only thing that it's going to do is cause a little bit of chaos. What if they're saying this is as good as it's going to get from the coaching side? We just need to finish it on the field.
Well,
we don't know. We're not there.
What I love to see as a fan, and I'm sure you've seen them, the videos in the locker room after a loss or a win, those guys are fixed on McDermott, and they love him. You know what I mean? Dude, I love seeing those videos after the game. They hand out, the game ball. All these guys are hugging McDermott. Love you, man. Love you, man. Thank you. Thank you. That doesn't happen with a bad culture. So, who knows? The Bills.
And you know what? The best part of McDermott? Those claps.
Oh, we love the claps. He's a clapper. I think the funniest thing
claps.
in the NFL, who is it? The coach that has a guy who spends the entire game
making
sure he doesn't run
the
on
Rams coach.
Is it
Sean?
Sean.
He was in that one commercial.
It's really fun.
Campbell. He wasn't in a Campbell's commercial.
Oh, he was.
Chunky chicken noodle soup.
Do you guys want to be slightly frustrated about a game that
McVay.
Yeah.
Sean McVay.
Yeah.
Well,
the guy just follows him up and down the sideline, making sure he doesn't run on the
One of these times he's going to run right out of the field, tackle a guy. Ooh, boom!
He gets hyped. He gets hyped, dude.
Not my house. Not my house.
What were you saying, Jake, before we cut you off?
Oh, no, he didn't. Jacob's got a quick little game for us before we switch teams.
Okay.
From where I'm at, you guys, it's so different because you guys can look at each other. You're in the same room.
Yeah.
And I have to track your eyes on the camera to see which one of you was looking at whom.
Well, I'm only looking at him. If I'm not looking at the computer, there's no one else.
No, that's what I mean. Are you looking at Tommy or are you looking at the computer? So it's hard. So I'm checking your eyes to see. And then by the time I've calculated that, I've missed my chance to talk. And then you guys keep going.
Calculate this, Jacob. Do a game.
Oh, you want to hear the game I prepared?
Yeah, because we're going to move on to talk about another sports team that we talk about. So,
all right. So you guys may or may not be familiar with this format. I love this format recently. We're going to rank something blindly. You guys know what this is? So how it's going to work is we have 5 spots. You got 1 through 5.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you what we're going to start with is last year's games. So I'm going to give you a game from last year of the Bills. and you are going to put it somewhere in the 1 through 5 ranking spot, but you don't know the other 4 things that you're ranking. So if I give you a game and you want to put it, if you think this is the best game of the year, and you put it 1, I give you a different game, that's actually the best game. You can't move it.
Okay.
That's already
all right.
Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So I have a random
Can I
Bills.
Can I phone a friend during this game?
Is there a lifeline?
No, I'm going to tell you how the game went. So you'll have the box. You'll know.
Can't.
And then.
Okay.
So, anyways, let's give it a shot.
Okay, go.
First one, I have. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were calling me out on something.
Me? No.
Besides your
I'm waiting for you to go. You're in control.
I was going.
You have the wheel.
Thank you.
Jesus,
perfect. One hand on the wheel. First game I'm going to give you is the win against the Detroit Lions. It was a 28-25 win for the Bills. Do you guys want to put that in your best game of the year? 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't know what's coming next.
Is this a unanimous pick, or are they all different lists?
No, you got your own. I have a spot for each of us. I'm doing it too because it's random.
Who goes first?
I'm doing this randomly.
Who goes first?
So,
who goes first?
Doesn't. I'm putting it in my 3 spot. I don't know where you guys are.
I'm going 4.
It was a really good game. The Lions were playing so well too.
But you don't know what's coming next. It could be 3 losses
4.
next. You don't know.
I
don't know either.
I'm also going to go 3. I feel like that's a safe spot.
I'm going 4. I feel like there's better times that had more good games than bad ones, so I'm going 4.
All right. Next
Real quick, Jacob, before you continue, is this best game or our favorite? What are we ranking it on, or is it completely
whatever you think
arbitrary?
the people are going to... Yeah, if the people vote and they say that...
Because, the Vikings loss was one of their best football games in the entire season.
Like best Bills game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a Bills fan.
Okay. Keep going.
All right. Next is Bills 38, Pittsburgh 3.
I'll put that in my 3 hole.
I'm going...
put another thing in a different hole.
This is a family-friendly...
Did I say anything wrong?
You are at the studio, Tommy.
I didn't say anything bad.
I'm putting it at my 4.
Get your moke. Bills over.
I was actually thinking about doing 4 too. I remember they had a huge quarter, I think, where they had 3 or 4 touchdowns.
All right.
I'm actually gonna go 4 too, Jakey.
Joe, you're supposed to keep track of this on your own on your sheet.
Oh, I am.
Yep.
You do have a sheet.
I have a sheet. Got it.
All right.
All right. Next is Minnesota 33, Bills 30. Just so you know, I'm shuffling this on my own. I'm not picking these. This is totally random.
I mean, are we? This is ranked on just the football game.
5.
How good it was.
No, as
how
a Bills fan.
disappointing. Oh, well
5.
then 5. Give me 5. The only thing that could outbeat it is losing to the Bengals. So
yeah. Well, if he gives us that and we put it in our 2 or 1, yeah.
You
know what?
That's the thing.
I get it.
You know
That's
what?
Fun.
I'm not taking that chance. I feel like that playoff game's going to come up. Are the playoff games included?
I don't think he knows.
They're in there.
Oh,
but,
gosh.
All right.
Next is risky. Fine, I'll go 5 as well. Oh, no, I'm taking a chance. No. I'm going 2. I'm putting it number 2.
All right, move on.
His second favorite game as a Bills fan is when they lose. You are a fake fan.
You are a piece of
It was
dirt.
a fantastic game.
Go ahead, Jake.
Next is Buffalo 31, Los Angeles Rams 10.
Oh, boy. Do I go 1 or 5? Oh, no. Because if I go 5, I'm banking on there being the playoff game in there or the Miami game.
Joey and I have it 1 or 2. I'm going 1.
I'm really hope that.
So Jacob, I the only reason I'm not going to go 1 is because we'll have the exact same thing. So I'm just
fine.
No, I'm going to go 2 just because I want some diversity.
I really hope a good win isn't next because I'm putting that last.
Well, it's your and I's 1. So.
Well, yeah, I have to put it 1. Bills over Rams.
Okay. Officially, Joey and Tommy's favorite Bills game of the year.
Yeah. Well, okay. All right, what's
New York Jets 20, Buffalo Bills 17.
All right, last place. Let's go. I did so good. Bills lose to the Jets.
What? You put your 5.
Jets over Bills. That's my 5.
You had the Rams at your 5.
No, I put the Rams at 1, dumbass.
Dumb bottom, Tommy. Family show.
Okay, well, I don't think the Jets over the Bills is my favorite. I should have done 1. Well, I think
Joey's a fake fan. Confirm, fake fan. Joey thinks the Jets are better than the Bills.
I will say one of my favorite moments of the year was us watching that opening game against the Rams, and after they win the Super Bowl, just such a statement game. So
now we can beat up on old man Aaron and the Jets. But Joey, confirm, closet Jets fan. All right. So
tell me that you wouldn't rather have the Jets be competitive in our division than the Patriots at this point.
I mean,
if you had to root for one of them, per se. Come on.
Whatever.
Or the Dolphins.
So
screw the Dolphins.
Follow our socials, right? And see this posted on our socials. Vote on it. Comment on it. Share it. Share it with your friends and say, look at these 3. And look how smart this one person was and how dumb this one person was. And then, have that conversation. Because, Joey, yikes.
All right. Well, yeah, Joey, yikes. Closet Jets fan. So that will transition us. Boom! Right there. There's the transition. We are now going to talk about the other professional sports team in Buffalo. That is the ice hockey team that plays hockey in Buffalo.
On the ice.
On the ice in Buffalo, called the Sabres. I love the Sabres so much.
Sabres.
I love the Sabres. Okay, so...
Tell me you don't miss Rick Jeanneret.
Dude, I missed RJ
what I mean?
so much. Nothing against Dan Dunleavy.
No,
honestly,
he does a great job. Compared to so many announcers.
He does a fine job.
Compared to a lot of announcers that I listen to watching hockey, he does a great job.
Yes, but I love Dan. I got nothing against him, and he does the job. But in my opinion, I think Dan's play-by-play is a little vanilla.
Is RJ top 3 NHL announcers of all time?
Easily. Not even.
Unbiasedly as a Sabres fan.
Unbiasedly. His calls were so unique.
Legendary.
The way he called it. I mean, how
many
of his calls are
another
so
fun story about us?
Dude.
We had a CD. I don't know where Dad got it, but our father got gifted. Yeah. I think it was from his friend in Sweden. Do you remember that dude that gave us like the weird Swedish candy when he came to visit?
Lars or Jensen.
It's either Lars or Jensen or something like it.
Jars. Let me text Dad. Hold on.
Anyways, our dad got gifted a Rick Jeanneret best call.
Who's your dad?
A best call CD. And so we also didn't, are talking about our relatively humble upbringing. We had, I had an iPad or an iPod Shuffle. You remember the little ones that didn't have any screens on them? We all at one point had them.
Text sent to Dad, by the way. Who was your Swedish friend?
So you could never choose a playlist or anything. You just hit play and it played through everything that's on there.
Yeah, his best calls.
We had his best calls on our iPods. So I'll be listening to music. Here comes some Maroon 5 and then a little bit of whatever, Avenged Sevenfold, Linkin Park, and then
Rick Jeanneret.
La 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 Fontaine, or what are all of his famous calls?
It's literally what would happen.
I know, it was hilarious. And Dad would play him in the car. We'd be on our way to a hockey game, and we're just listening to Mayday, Mayday, Mayday.
So
Brad May, yeah, dude.
Wins it in overtime. So, okay, really quick before we move on to the bulk of what we're talking about with the Sabres today, which is a draft preview. Do you guys... Oh, you know what? Let's save it for the end. Unless, Jacob, you had something fun already planned for the Sabres.
I wanted to do that schedule thing with all 3 teams.
Let's
save that for next week.
Okay, so I'm going to we'll save this. I got a question for you guys.
Write it down before you forget.
I got a question for you guys. I'll save it for the end of the Sabres talk. So let's do the bulk of the Sabres talk. And we're going to try to keep this one relatively... Yeah, I would like to say high and tight. But yeah, we're going to do a Buffalo Sabres draft preview. The draft is on Wednesday. We're recording this Sunday night. So we record our episodes Wednesdays as well, so we'll actually be in the midst of recording our next episode during the draft. The Sabres may or may not have picked at that point. The first round goes forever.
Yeah, it depends on how late we go for the recording.
It's such a show, and it's not entertaining. I'm sorry. The draft is not entertaining.
Bro, it is still so much quicker and less flashy and showy than the other major sports, bro.
Dude, the NFL's draft takes like 3 days.
What do they do? Don't they do the first round the first night, and that's it? Or something like that?
Well, so does the NHL. The NHL does the first round in one night, then 2 through 7 is the next day.
Oh, really?
But the NFL, I believe their draft takes like 3 days.
And it goes through like everyone personally.
Well,
and there's so much. Yeah, I don't know.
the first round of the NHL draft, it's the whole show. The players come on stage, the commissioner's on there, and the whole team comes up. And every single year, the photo gets bigger and bigger with the amount of people that go up there. Now you've got like the family dog up there. You've got Aunt Margaret's second cousin removed up there taking the photo, and they're like, "Where did Aunt Margaret come from? We thought she was at Beverly Hills."
Margaret is a legend. No. Do you want to know
Aunt Margaret? They came. You thought the wedding was canceled, but they resolved it last minute.
You know what? I'm curious, and I don't know if you could bet on this. True. And we haven't really done any betting stuff here. Who knows if we ever will? But
bet you $5 won't bet. Bet on whatever.
I'm curious what the odds are, or if there even is a betting line.
Mm-hmm.
To have what are the odds that Bedard does not go first overall?
0%.
No, I'm saying 0%. I'm curious what if there is a bet anyone but him to go first.
Yeah, sure.
What would that be?
6 million to 1. Okay, so
I think for those odds, everyone else in the draft would have to die.
Okay. No, we talked about this already.
No, that he would have to die.
We talked about this already. The Men in Black thing. Everybody has to get Men in Black flash.
You know what? Rob Ray should be on that. Razor, for the Sabres, just go Men in Black on everyone. And let's grab Bedard. He'd be great on the wing with Thompson, right?
Yeah, we need a...
filthy.
Okay. So anyway, the Sabres this year have 8 draft picks total. They got...
Good job, Kevin Adams.
Yep, they got 1 in the first, 2 in the second. One of them is Phillies from the Risto trade. I believe that was a Risto trade.
Great trade.
Great trade. Great. Yeah. Well,
no, Haig was fine with. Haig was a solid defenseman for a little bit, dude. There's sometimes I'll be watching the Flyers play and Risto will do something.
He's bad.
Rasmus Ristolainen, for those who don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I do not miss that. At all.
Yeah. Anyway, so they have 2 second picks. They have a third of LA's third. They have a 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. So 8 picks in the draft, and really what we're going to do, we're not going to go through every single prospect and all that stuff because the Sabres aren't going to get a lot of them, most of them, and we're not going to do a mock draft or anything like that. You can go online, and a bazillion people have done mock drafts. So what we're going to do instead is basically evaluate what we think to be the Sabres' biggest needs in the draft, right? Look at their current prospect pool in their core and see where a couple of years down the line where this draft might be able to help them, right? Okay, so the Sabres...
I want to ask, Tom.
Sure, go ahead.
Just real quick, do you think, before we dive into this, is there a chance that a Sabres first-round pick we see on the ice soon, like this year?
No.
I think the only way we do...
You mean that a 2023, their first-round pick like on
in
Wednesday
the NHL.
Is in the NHL this year?
Yeah.
The only way we do is if they get one of the top 3 defensemen in the draft. And I think that's the only thing that we'll see.
Yeah.
But I don't think that there's a forward...
Even then.
A forward that could fall to the Sabres outside of the top 4, 5 projected picks... which I know, I guess there's been rumblings about who the number 2 is going to be. Like, Fantilli's not the guarantee. Anyways,
no,
I don't think the only way that I think
biggest.
that they could get in an NHL game this season, the Sabres draft pick from this draft, is if it's a defenseman and if something goes wrong. Injuries, but we don't have that depth, which I'm sure we'll get into. We don't have the depth at through the AHL and overseas that we do on forward.
Or if we see the 9-game tryout before they have to sign an entry-level contract, if players play, I think it's 9 games or less than 9 games, and then the Sabres can decide if they want to send them back to junior or not.
I'll hope that we don't, because I think that the reason we've seen that a lot for the Sabres has been because of their lack of involvement in playoffs. That's not something, if you're a playoff team towards the end of the year, you're not bringing those guys up to get their games, and you're focused on...
Sure.
And the Sabres... So I hope we actually don't have to do that.
What happens is, too, the Sabres aren't forced to sign players to their entry-level contract right out of the gate. They can send them back to junior if they're eligible, or send them back to their pro league and overseas.
We saw that with Shane Wright.
Right. Yeah, or with in college or whatever. And it depends on who the Sabres pick. So, Rasmus Ristolainen, by the way, projected his WAR percentage, 31%. Rough. Good trade for the Sabres.
Do you remember when he flew across the blue line to try to keep the puck in on the power play?
I liked Risto.
And just absolutely bundled himself into the glass.
I do remember.
And just like a full... And it just like at the corner of the camera as it was passing by, you see Ristolainen just slam him. And no one's around. That was great.
Okay, so here we go. Draft preview. We're going to keep it fairly quick. Bottom line, I don't think anybody would be... I don't think anybody would argue this. And the Sabres would almost be, I don't want to say ignorant, but nobody would argue that the Sabres need to load up on defensemen in this draft.
That's their biggest weakness.
And
as of now.
What's unfortunate, when you look at the prospect pool, the Sabres were previously had been ranked, had the number one prospect pool in the NHL, and during last year that they moved down to like 5. If you look at the Sabres' top prospects, right, we can't include Power anymore, can't include Levi because they're NHLers now.
Peterka.
Sure. Their top prospects are Yuri Kolich, Noah Ostlund, Matthew Savoy, Isaac Rosen, all forwards. All forwards. Now, the Sabres do have a couple of defensive prospects, and they have some good ones. We just signed Ryan Johnson, who's been busy playing NCAA after we drafted him in like 19, I think it was.
I got to watch him in the Frozen Four.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, he's been developing. He's been playing college hockey. We signed him to a 2-year entry-level deal. He's a good defensive prospect. I guess you could go into who's I'm blanking on his name now. I'm trying to bring it right up to my face. We just signed him to the entry-level contract as well. Nikita Novikov that we signed.
Yeah.
Another defensive. Go ahead.
No, so I'm just looking up at the Hockey Writers, which is a great website for some information. Previously, midway through actually last season, Sabres had.
This is exactly what I was referring to.
Yes, had the number one ranked prospect /farm system in the entire league, and they dropped to 5. And really, it said the only reason they dropped to 5 is because Power.
Yeah, Power became an NHL
and Quinn.
Right.
So that's the question, though: is having a really high number on that's just one source, but in general, this prospect pool, the best teams in the league don't necessarily have great prospect.
Do you want to hear the teams that have the worst prospect pool in this writing? Relative? No, worst pool, Tampa Bay Lightning. Second worst,
right.
Colorado Avalanche. Third worst, Canucks. Woof. Good luck.
Tough for Vancouver right now.
And then Bruins.
The reason that the best teams in the league have low prospect pools,
they're up there playing.
It's because they trade their high draft picks and their top prospects routinely every single year to acquire NHL talent right now. So the Sabres,
it happens. That's like the natural rise and fall that we see of these franchises. That's why the Lightning are, after their incredible couple years, they've got a terrible prospect pool. And you got to think the Golden Knights, they dropped from 14 to 25 because they had to make a lot of moves to get to where they're at. So,
if you're a Sabres fan, you hope that the Sabres have one of the worst prospect pools in some regards in a couple of years. That means that we're probably winning unless you're Vancouver. So anyway, Jake, I'll let you interject in just a sec, but I just want everybody to know that the Sabres' focus should be defense. However, this year's draft for the NHL is considered a very deep draft. There's a lot of players that are projected to go in the top 15 to 20 that a lot of mock drafts have some of these guys that are projected to go 13, 14. Some of these mock drafts from top analysts have them going 6, 7.
That's just a testament to there is no clear 1 through 10 right now or 1 through 30. That's a good thing.
There's
for
a
teams.
clear one. I know what you mean.
There's a clear top 5, really.
Yes. You could probably, maybe. There's a clear top 4. It's clear top 3 even. Mitchkov is an interesting story. Yeah, 3. I think it's going to go
Bedard.
Bedard.
That the Ducks are going to go Swedish.
Bedard, Fantilli, and Carlson is probably what's going to happen here. But anyway, the Sabres need defensemen. The problem is once the Sabres get to 13 for the first round pick, who's going to be available is going to be a question. We're not going to deep dive into a lot of these prospects right now. Just going to put a couple names out for people to maybe watch for that the Sabres could take. The dream pick is David Reinbacher, who is the number 1 rated defenseman in the draft. And the first 6, 7 picks of the draft could be forwards. All forwards, centers, wingers, right? Reinbacher is most likely not going to fall to the Sabres. It's probably not going to happen, but he's a dream pick for the Sabres. So that means let's play devil's advocate a little bit, right?
I'm also going to interject. What are the odds that Adams makes another move if he really thinks that he's going to be a part of it?
That was one conversation. Well,
there's also the conversation of Adams trading down.
There's word on that. If he's for someone who can contribute this next year compared to,
Or if he feels that Reinbacher is the number one pick for the Sabres if they could get him. I think they would take him, right?
Well, I think they'd take Bedard if they could.
Shut up. All right, so, but when we get to 13, some other names that could be available per mock drafts and per the the North American rankings or the general scouting rankings. A couple of guys that the Sabres talked to because they're projected to go around where they are. A couple of wingers, Matthew Wood, big winger, power forward. Zach Benson, a WHL forward who had 98 points in 60 games. He's a little bit smaller, but he's incredibly skilled. And then a couple of other defensemen that could be available to us. A Swedish defenseman named Axel Sandin Pellikka. He could be available to us, but he's a little smaller. He's a left shot defenseman. Yeah. But the Sabres, like in their perfect world right now, in free agency and trade, they're going to be looking to acquire a top 4 right-handed shot defenseman. That's what we're going to talk about next episode. But in the draft, if you're just trying to stockpile on defensive talent, if Pellikka is available to you at 13, and if you have the option between Pellikka or Zach Benson, another skilled winger, and he's very skilled, do you go with the defenseman? Because you know you have Kulich and you know you have Savoy and Oslin. What
I'll say, Tom, is we got.
This is just the first round we're talking about.
It was episode 2, I think, of Two Balls One Puck. We discussed the Golden Knights and their makeup and how they were so successful in playoffs. They don't have any small Swedish defensemen. They have big, bruising, solid lockdown guys, and they obviously still have talent. You know, they've got some great, talented defenseman, but I don't know, man. Dahlin is arguably top 3 most dynamic and offensively talented defenseman in the league. Power's shown us already some incredible offensive, talent. I don't know if there's space for a guy, that's 5'11". We look at the Golden Knights, man.
Yeah,
their smallest D-man was 6'3" this year. It's hard to see. I don't know. So you kind of hope. I don't know. Well,
Jacob, you made a good point earlier in the week. We were talking about this. We were talking about, okay, well, let's talk about what the Yankees, what the Sabres are going to be, how this is going to affect them, not this year, but 2-3 years down the line, right? And I think it's safe to say, like, okay, well, look at some of the veterans that are on our team. We just re-signed Okposo, Gergensons for 1 year, right? Olofsson's on the block. We've got forward depth up and coming.
Skinner's getting older.
But on the defensive side of the puck, I mean, Dahlin, Power, Samuelson, but Stillman, Lyubushkin, these are not long-term Sabres. So, yeah, the Sabres are going to try to acquire a defenseman this year, but we're going to need additional help on the D side. So I think the Sabres' focus this year and the draft should be defensemen. We're going to draft forwards. It's going to happen. It's a deep draft. They're going to, and I think that if the best player available at the time that the Sabres get to 13 is a winger, I would not be shocked if they take a winger.
Yeah, you can always pile on, dude. And even if they're not in your specific plans, if they have the value, then, even if it's a year or two, what do you think, Jake?
It's interesting. I mean, you said it earlier. It's interesting that the conversation is, I think what you mentioned, Tom, trading down, I don't think you talked about enough, because the idea of trading down kind of lends itself to the specific needs. Because just looking at, I'm just reading the Reinbacher's, which, again, isn't necessarily, it's definitely not guaranteed.
No, but it's unlikely, actually.
Right, 100% unlikely. But just the idea of, well, we want to take a higher pick if we can. I don't know if that's necessarily in the Sabres' best interest, especially starting in round 2. Round 1, if you have a chance to take an a winger who will be a threat for, in 2 years for a long time, you probably take it. But in the future of the draft, rounds 2 through however many picks they're going to take, the idea of maybe we're looking for 3 defensive defensemen who are more sure to be, what are you going to call your back end guys, rather than trading up for one guy who's unlikely to necessarily be something that you really do need. Because like Reinbacher's scouting report, a lot of people compare him to Roman Josi, who, well, obviously you're not saying he's going to be as good as Josi, you're saying his skill set. Mm-hmm. The Sabres could not necessarily the player that the Sabres want or need the most right now is a defenseman who, kind of like Dahlin, isn't your lockdown defensive defenseman So maybe that the conversation of running to a few short picks in the defensive range, that might be something that the Sabres are, real interested in.
Yeah, and the one other thing I'll say, too, is that I think that the Sabres would be, and it would serve their best interest to select a goalie in this draft.
Depth.
Yeah. No, I mean, because look at Levi's young, and he looks to be the future for the Sabres right now. UPL, the jury's still out on him if he's going to be a longtime Sabre or not. His early projections back in the day were so high, and he's still so young. You can't give up on UPL yet. But after that, you look down the pipeline, and the Sabres are pretty thin on what would be next for goaltending. So I
we've
think
got Comrie.
I think that
Malcolm Subban's our AHL goalie.
I'm talking.
I know what you're saying.
I
agree with you. I'm agreeing
5
with you.
years down the line.
Yep.
I would not be shocked if the Sabres go to take a goalie in this draft.
Yeah.
So what we should expect from the Sabres in this draft is to load up on defensemen. I wouldn't be shocked if Adams takes the best player available in round 1, which very well could be a winger. If Matthew Wood falls to them or Zach Benson, I would expect, and Palika is available, I still would expect them to take one of the wingers over Palika. I think they should take Palika, but
if you ask me right now, like if I could have another player like Power currently, not like what he could be, or another player like Samuelsson right now, I would absolutely say Samuelsson. I'd rather have a 6'4" guy that is solid in the defensive zone, physical, and so I don't know. We'll see. It's interesting.
If Reinbacher falls, and which he won't, but if he does fall, Sabres fans, be very excited because he is definitely the number 1 defenseman in the draft. He's bigger, he's right shot, he's the pick.
Tom, you want to announce what time it is?
Oh, here we go. Joey's got to go.
I was just going to say it. Yep. It's about that time.
I felt it coming that Joey definitely had to pee. So there he's go. Now I'm just alone. I'm all alone. There's
You're alone in the room.
Well, Tom, beside me.
Careful. You only got like 4 seconds of that or else we're copyrighted.
It's Donkey singing for sure. Any Shrek fans out there. All right, go ahead, Jake. What do you got for me? Joey's got to go. Joey's peeing.
Did you notice, for those who are just listening, we were talking about the Sabres, I made a quick trip to my snack bag and grabbed gummies because I didn't bring any, I'm usually when I'm in the room with you two, we've got some candy to snack on. And you were like, oh, we should be eating candy. I love it. So I brought some just to honor and to spite you as well. I brought some candy, so I was eating some of those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyways, I want you to try to list something while Joey's gone, and I have something funny.
I got like 20 seconds, but go.
That's fine. All right, something that I think is really funny. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Name fish body parts.
Fish body parts.
Yeah. How many can you name?
Mouth, eyes, ears, gulls. Wait.
Gills.
Yeah, that's it. Time's up.
You got one fish exclusive.
Well, back in my day, we didn't learn about the fish gills and gulls.
Do you guys ever have that moment of panic when you walk into a room you're unfamiliar with that's pitch black and you don't know where the light switch is?
Yeah, you think they're probably like Jason Voorhees is probably in that room, like more likely than not.
Yo, dude, back in the day when I used to run down our grandparents' basement, we used to play. There was a little old computer down there. I used to go down there and play Wolfenstein and Doom.
Yeah.
Right when I was like 5, games you shouldn't play when you're 5 years old.
Builds character.
I got paranoid as a kid when I went down into the basement by myself that like the Doom monsters were gonna chase me. They were around the corner. So
they are down there. They never ran into you. It's just you're just lucky.
What's the name of the big spider mask?
Their basement. It was so cool. They had a basement. And they had a second basement, which was just a library.
Mm-hmm. And it was
just a collection
Our grandfather was a lawyer and judge, and there are so many books
books down there, dude.
Amazing.
Well, what did you got? Did I miss anything?
Jacob asked me to name fish body parts, and I named mouth, eyes, ears, and gills.
But he misspoke and said gulls. So he got eyes, ears, mouth, which are normal for like most living creatures.
Stomach.
I know as much about fish as Joey knows about
the Bill Sabres and Yankees.
No,
I was hoping you'd go for
give
like
me something. No, give me something.
All right, name a fish. What fish?
No. I want to hear what Tommy says. As I know about what. I want to see if I can, prove that I know more than he does.
Science.
That's very vague.
Are you a scientist?
No. Are you a fisherman?
So. I am not a fisherman.
That's not who knows about fish.
If I was a fisherman, I'd be full-blown fisherman. I'd go scraggly beard, the
like tattered
the corduroys that are like leather, so you get the fish guts on you. I'd go pipe. I'd go.
You're talking like 1800s.
I'd
fisherman.
go. I haven't caught any fish all day, but sometimes they take a little bit to bite.
Tommy, you just described your work uniform and then your normal Friday night. It's not. You're not. This is normal for you.
What if you had to survive, and you had to kill fish like Castaway style, and you had to do a spear. You know what I mean?
Do a spear and make a spear.
You had to make a spear, and then you had to do the old school like hunting, like spearing the fish. We'd be dead. We'd be dead. All of us would die.
No, dude. No, I would make friends with the fish and convince it to just hang out with me. And then when it was sleeping, I would lull in
Jacob would commit pure anarchy on the.
You find Jacob on the island, and he's just talking to fish in the ocean. And this guy's lost it.
He's not crazy. He just made fish friends.
Listen, they're my friends, and then they slowly sacrifice themselves to keep me alive one by one until it's just me.
Not where I thought this.
No, it's not. Going. This hypothetical is making me a little bit emotional. Do we have anything else on the Sabres? I mean, keep an eye out for the draft.
Draft previews Wednesday. We'll probably be talking about it a little bit on Wednesday when we record because it'll be happening. But again, Sabres. I think defense should be if they have 8 picks. I would love to see the Sabres. I'd love to see half of those picks be defensemen,
or at least 3.
At least. Yeah. I think 4 defensemen, a goalie, and then you go with a couple of centers and a winger, and a couple forwards. I think that's a successful draft for the Sabres. But
so again, what's that question you had for us, Tom?
Wow, I'm glad you remembered because I didn't. I really should have wrote it down. I got it.
I was about to remind
I got it. Ready?
Okay.
Favorite Rick Jeanneret call of all time. I mean, not necessarily his best, but your personal favorite. I've got mine. I know mine. Can I say mine? I just got to get it out.
Can I say mine first?
Rock, paper, scissors, just say it. Ready? Rock, paper, I win. So my favorite one is 100%. Are you ready?
I know what this is.
What?
It's not what I thought. Go ahead.
No. These guys are good. Scary good. Yeah. Because the memory of Jason Pominville scoring that overtime winner shorthanded against Ottawa lives. Oh, my God. I mean, I have a close second, but yes, these guys are good. Scary good is my favorite call, for sure.
Mine is... Oh, Joe, you can go first.
No, you go ahead, Jakey.
All right. Mine is interesting because it's my favorite, but it's not my favorite for the reason that yours is. Mine is Top Shelf Where Mama Hides the Cookies because...
I swear, if you say it's because we were at that game.
Oh, I know.
That's what I was going to say.
Is it really?
I swear
I was going to...
Because we didn't know the call until after the game, and then we started hearing about it because we were watching the game live.
But we were youngins too.
We were very young. That was the game where the guy was screaming 3 blind mice at the refs the whole game.
So funny.
That has to be one of the funniest things is like the relationship between like when parents are there with kids, and obviously there's like the passionate drunk sports fans all over the place.
Yeah.
How do you like mediate that? Like, hey man, there's kids here, but we're also at a game.
Like, my wife tries.
It's also just so funny.
It's
so funny.
Jenny tries it when we're at live, like in public events. Jenny has a tough time sometimes curbing her language for kids around. I'm like, Jenny, there's a kid right there, and she's like, I don't care. I'm having a great time right now. I'm like, well, that's cool. I'm on board. Whatever. Now, Jenneret's close second is Chris Drury.
Yeah,
the overtime.
That's what I thought your number one was going to be because you talk about that game so much.
I do, because I have vivid memories of Drury scoring that tying goal and then Finnegan winning. But no, Scary Good is so good. But anyway,
you didn't let me say why it's my favorite though.
Oh,
Joey said why it's his favorite.
Oh, I didn't know you were trying
Top Shelf Where Mama Hides the Cookies. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Top Shelf Where Mama Hides the Cookies is because it's transcended the Sabres, and now that's just where people. It's like that's just people just say it.
That's
and
true.
I just remember being in youth in college hockey. And people say it, and I'm just like, I know in my head where it came from. It's like a little teeny source of pride, even though I didn't say it. But it's just like, that came from the Sabres. Like, I don't know. It's just, it transcended just that one call.
Yeah, and growing up listening to Sabres games on the radio, good memories. But anyway, okay, let's switch gears one last time. And this is going to be a short segment, even though we probably have the most to talk about with them. Honestly.
Well, I think on Wednesday, from what I can project for our episode Wednesday, I think we'll do a nice, healthy chunk of Yanks on Wednesday because they'll be in the middle of sweeping the Oakland A's. So.
Well, we also are doing off-season preview on Wednesday for the Sabres. So, yeah, we'll figure that out. But we're going to talk about the Yankees. And the Yankees, let's stick – I want to do is stick with their most recent 2 series against Seattle and Texas, basically combined because since we last recorded, they've played – those 2 series. So, and just what we learned about them, the series, and stuff that we know for now. But, Joe, you got something to say?
Yeah, I'll kick us off. Billy McKinney.
Billy the Kid.
He is so much fun right now. What is it? Only 2
Let
games?
it rip.
Only 2 games that he's played in since he's been back with the Yanks that he doesn't have a hit in?
Or hasn't got on base.
Okay.
No, he walked one of the games.
Yeah, no, I think it's just hit.
No,
I think it's just hit. I think it's now 18 games, and he's got a hit in 16 of them, or 17 and 15.
Oh.
But he's exciting. Honestly, dude, Jake Bowers and Billy are low-key carrying the Yanks right now. And the most undoubtable thing is how freaking amazing the Yankees bullpen has been.
Yeah, bullpen is sick.
Bro,
so
they won a 1-0 shutout yesterday.
Yeah,
A 1-0 shutout.
The game today as well. I mean, Cole, we can talk Cole. He fought. He does what you're supposed to do. You have ace stuff one day, and then you battle the next day because that's what superstar pitchers do is they figure out a way to give good – I mean, he could have easily imploded, and the Yanks have no chance to win that game. But he fought through it.
Because that's what heroes do.
That's what
Can we haven't talked about the finger wag either, have we?
That was fun.
If you haven't seen it, if you're a Yankees fan, if you're a baseball fan, if you're a fan of funny things, Garrett Cole, one of the most quote unquote dad, just kind of average dudes,
memeable things
in the
too.
MLB. Long story short, if you don't know already, the opposing team's manager was shaking his finger against Seattle, shaking his finger at Cole, saying "Hey, you shouldn't do that," blah blah blah, and Cole just gave him the most hilarious look and shaking the finger ever.
That was
funny. And I want a T-shirt of that.
So you have to also see the pitch over the batter's head.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It might be the highest pitch recorded.
It's so funny. So funny.
Have you seen the videos of it cuts from the clip of Garrett throwing that ball and then it
hitting
the
John
camera,
Sterling
and it goes up and it hits the John Sterling and ow.
Really hit me.
Yeah, but no, I don't know. Yanks right now, it's such a weird mixed feeling, dude, because they're not good, but they're winning.
I know.
Still.
So here's my. Can I?
No, but they are good, but they're just not.
But can I? But can I?
Stanton,
may I?
You.
All right. Here's the thing.
Stanton,
here's the thing. Ready, guys? Ready? Ready? Here's the thing. The Yankees. You know what? At the end of the day, things don't always look positive, but we just took 2 series in a row. We won 4 out of 2 in a homestand. We found ways to win. So here's, you know what? I'm a little bit more, popping. I'm just a little bit more up and jiving with the Yankees today because you want to know why? Today, after today's game, that 8th inning rally that the Yankees put on gave me a glimmer of hope. It was what's the guy's name in Ratatouille? Egon? Egoff? What's his name? The critic? The food critic?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
When he eats the ratatouille and his eyes open up and you peer into his soul and the memory of him as a kid, right? So the rally today just got me ratatouille'd a little bit. You know what I mean? It got me a little ratatouille. I was
Spell
like,
it.
R-A-T-O.
Nope.
R-A-T-A-O-U-T-I-L-L-I-E.
Close, but there's no A after the T.
Anyway,
you also missed another T.
So my point is here that I got a little bit of a little glimpse into if this Yankees team can just continue to hold on, find ways to win, right? Stanton might be a poop socket right now.
Hey, he's coming back. I'm calling it. Stanton's on his way back.
What's a poop socket? Donaldson might be an even bigger poop socket.
He might be a poop wrench.
But you know what? If those guys can bang just a little bit, and you can just hang on. The bullpen can do their job. You can get a little bit of pitching, and you can find ways to win. Carlos Rodon is on the way back on July 5th.
Wednesday.
Aaron Judge's big toe, just get rid of it. He doesn't need it. No. Amputate it. Get him back in the lineup. But
that's something we're probably going to dive into a little bit more, though, dude, but that's scary.
We are going to dive into that. But you know what I'm saying, Jake? If the Yankees can find ways to win games, they might have to scratch and claw, but you stay in the hunt, and if the Yankees, you get closer to the trade deadline, right? You get some guys healthy. You get Rodon back. You get Cortez back. We'll see about Judge. And maybe you can fix one of the veterans. If you can fix one of the veterans, if you can get Stanton going, you hang on here till closer to the trade deadline. You get reinforcements. I think this team can be something there. I got the Ratatouille moment.
So I talked about Bowers and Billy. Do you think that's who they are, or is this just a spark? Because if that burns out and our guys aren't going, that's an issue. So are we just gonna? Is Bowers just like? Good?
I don't know, Jake. Is he good? Is Bowers legit?
Is he really good?
Is McKinney plays a great left field. I loved how he played left field.
Does.
Jake, are they legit?
You can't say that they are, and you can't say that this is my World Series winning team with two players.
Let the man talk.
No, I was agreeing with him. No, I'm agreeing with Jacob. I'm saying no, you can't say it's a World Series team. Continue.
Well, if it's not, then when will it be? Because Judge, hot take, probably is bad, and I mean like really bad. I don't.
His injury, not Judge's.
No, obviously.
Well,
I don't know if he's playing for the rest of the year. I mean, who knows?
I actually second that, dude. He said it literally hurts bad to walk.
If he is playing, it is a late August. This is my take, right? As of now, we're in mid to late August, early September at the earliest, and will that be 2022, early 2023 Judge? And if it somehow is that a World Series winning team? Because you have, is Judge coming back? Will he be normal, good when he's back? And then is that still enough? And right now we are no Judge and not enough. So I don't know. I think we're missing.
I think that there are a couple of other things from these series that we can take away. Pitching overall, actually, minus
Domingo getting absolutely.
He just needs more rosin.
Shelled.
He needs more rosin. Let the guy do his thing. But Johnny Brito shoved, dude.
Brito looked good.
Shoved. Schmidt also shoved.
You know what I liked about Schmidt in this series? He just attacked the strike zone. He got a couple of hits against him. He got tagged a couple times, but honestly, he threw strikes. I liked that. He was unforgiving with throwing strikes.
And actually, it's the difference, too, that I think maybe you guys noticed, too, with King, is the same thing with Clark. When he starts out, and obviously every pitcher wants to get ahead in the count and throw a first pitch strike, but when he throws an aggressive first pitch strike versus when he's just doing the kind of hold me over, don't swing at this, please, I want to get 0-1, it makes the world of a difference. And even tonight, we're recording Sunday, King, so much different when he's pounding the strike zone aggressively versus just trying to throw him in there.
Yeah, it looked better.
It did. Yeah, but pitching was good overall.
Severino, Sevy had a great outing too.
We needed that, dude. We needed that.
But Jacob, you get my point where if they can continue to find ways to win, but if they can hold on to the trade deadline a little bit, but with Judge, now here's the another topic that we can talk about here and kind of round things out for tonight. If Judge is seriously out, if he's going to be out for an extended period of time, or worst case scenario, if Judge is out for the year, let's pray to every God out there that he's not. But
please no.
Let's say Judge is out until September. We're going to need reinforcements to keep us in the hunt, keep us in the wild card race, if the division, whatever that is. So That's the question I have here. That's the kind of thing I want to talk about, is that if Judge is not returning for a significant period of time, what corresponding moves genuinely need to be made? Do the Yankees need to go out and get an elite? Nobody can replace Aaron Judge.
No, he's one of one.
I mean, is that the Yankees? I mean, is that something that is even on the marketplace that the Yankees would go and try to acquire at the trade deadline as a legitimate middle of the order outfielder?
I think you have to. You have to. We saw our offense be anemic in playoffs last year.
Can they?
Yeah, they can't. They get money, dude.
Jacob, but with so many teams being more contenders this year and in the hunt, less teams are going to sell.
That's fair.
Good players.
Who might sell, Jacob? Dude? Athletics. they're probably not.
Who do they have?
One. Name 5 players on their team.
Tony Kemp.
That's one. Name 5 players on the Royals.
Ramon Laureano.
Did you make that up?
No.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The Yanks are going to need something. If you look at the lineup that lost in playoffs last year and look at it right now, it is scary. It's scary.
Jake?
The market's not what it once was. The Braves, not what it was. I mean, in years past. The Braves, 2 years ago, got 3 outfielders at the trade deadline.
Crazy.
And those 3 players were 3 of their top 5 players, and then they won the World Series at the end of the year. You don't have one outfielder on the known market right now at level of any of those 3 at the time. And my point is, no, there's not. You're not making this through trade of the known outfielders on the market, meaning players with short contracts on teams that are not in the playoff hunt. That's really who the trade market is.
Yeah.
No, there's no one.
Well, when you've got 2 central divisions that are all like, hey, we all could pretty much make the playoffs because none of us are very good. It really limits how many teams are out there. Isn't it still? I mean, side note from what we're talking about, but still AL East. Isn't it crazy to just day after day pull up the standings in the MLB and just see the entire AL East before the AL Central?
Yeah, it goes in order.
In order.
Yeah.
The Red Sox are above 500.
Yeah.
The Twins are leading the Central. They're below.
Well,
it's just
if Judge is out for a long time, what will the Yankees do? I don't think I know or they know. And I don't think anybody knows because is Jake Bauers your starting right fielder?
Yo, Ohtani can play right?
All right. Well, the Yankees. There was a lot of stuff that happened. I liked what I saw this week in many regards because I'm still not high and mighty on the Yankees right now, all in all. But I did get that Ratatouille moment.
And you're right, Tommy.
I'm like, you know what?
They are battling.
Can we hold on?
I don't think we can expect this team and this roster right now to just go out and just dominate everyone they play. Hopefully they can.
Unless they're clicking. You get a Stanton and a LeMahieu going at the same time.
Yes.
Also,
but even so, with Volpe, we're hoping he picks it up. He's looked a little bit better.
Since the
even with
Parmesan.
A completely picked up team, we don't need to expect this team to rake every night.
Yeah.
You're right. You're exactly right, Tom. They're going to battle. If they're going to keep winning series, it's probably going to be 2 out of 3 in the rubber band game. And if they can keep doing that...
Gotta sweep Oakland.
We do.
Sweep Oakland to get the vibes back up, right? Get a few wins on the books.
Rest the bullpen a little bit, hopefully.
Right. I mean, Jake, I don't know what you think about... Also, Jake, how about this? I took a gander. Nothing prompted me to do this, except for myself. I took a gander yesterday into Anthony Rizzo's game logs. You guys want to guess the last time he hit a home run? Take a guess.
I do want to guess. No. May 19th. May 23rd.
Wow, Jacob. Close for the first time. May 20th. Rizzo hasn't hit a home run in over a month.
35 days.
A month. Rizzo, and I know his average is okay and he's been hitting good this year, but I mean, that just proves that we need to get some of these guys buzzing a little bit. But anyway.
Well, Bronx Bombers need to bomb, and that's why McKinney's
Bombers bomb.
Taking over.
Joe McKinney.
Crazy.
Jake, any last closing thoughts on the Yanks on your end?
I mean, nothing that's going to be a short conversation, and more importantly, nothing that's going to be resolved anytime soon. So, we'll see all of this played out. They have half the season left, so we'll.
What was your takeaway, Jake, from these last 2 series? Mine was that Ratatouille moment. Joey's was the bullpen, a little bit the pitching. What was your biggest takeaway? Donaldson's
I mean, if I'm being honest with you, and you're not going to like the cynical take, I think you accidentally this homestand. You won 4 out of 6, which is good, but you did not dominate. Your pitching was fantastic, but no one who is not a Yankees fan watched these 6 games and said that team is better than the Mariners, is better than the Rangers, is going to go further than both of them, even though they won. This could have gone the other way, and the games could have been played exactly the same vibes, on and on, and we could have lost 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 3, and it could have been almost the same exact game over and over again.
You're very
so
right.
I'm not
we didn't
in a place where I'm saying
win-win.
No, we didn't. No, we
You know
didn't
what I
win.
mean?
No, we didn't win once.
Jacob,
Actually, we lost.
You know what I actually kind of wanted to see was like an offensive showdown, and obviously that means that some pitcher is getting raked a little bit or our bullpen's getting hit. But like, I would love to see a Yankees 15-hit game here soon. You know what I mean?
A while.
Like,
probably been since Oakland.
You know what I mean? Seriously.
Oakland's a great chance for the bats to wake up. You know what? Big G.
If we would have won the first 2 games against the Rangers or the Mariners and had like that third game, the quote throwaway game, I would have loved to see like a 13-11 loss. But the boys were raking. You know what I mean? Honestly, our offense needs to be better. And I don't know.
It's
a couple guys.
Who? I mean,
it's a couple guys.
not.
No, we
have the same guys we talked about over and over again.
Yep.
And at some point, your replacement pieces are going to go back to the back of their baseball cards instead of what they're supposed to be.
That's
and
what
then
I was saying about
4 guys who are supposed to be good. Yeah, you have guys who are supposed to be good who are bad, and players who are supposed to be average who are average. And now you have average and bad players.
You see what Boone said about Donaldson? He's just like, he's going to play a lot. He's our third baseman.
There was a glimmer of hope earlier this afternoon before the game that Donaldson was actually maybe going to get DFA'd or traded or something.
At least that they're like making a statement that he's not.
Well, Jacob, the reports came out. Boone was 30 minutes late to his press conference. He was talking to Donaldson at length. I wasn't thinking anything was going to happen. And then Boone comes out and they're like, "Oh, what's up with Donaldson?" He's like, "Oh no, he's here. He's going to play." And actually,
he's going to play a lot.
Surprise! He's going to play more than he's been playing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah. And honestly, as much as we've been hard on him, and it's the same thing that happened before Hicks got DFA'd. As much as we've been angry, upset, and hating on these guys, I would love for Donaldson to start raking. I would love it.
Me too. I don't actively root against the Yankees.
I'd love it, but if
that's why fans boo. That's why the Yankees fans boo. They boo because
can't, then we're just gonna keep hating.
If Donaldson goes up tomorrow, or not tomorrow because they have an off day, if he goes up and he hits a bomb, Yankees fans are gonna cheer their heads off. They're not gonna boo. They're not going to boo at all. They boo because we demand excellence.
I think Jacob and I will agree on this, Jake. I think Donaldson's in the same boat with Volpe. I think I'd rather see him hit 3 singles in a game than a homer.
In terms of hoping it's continued production, but if you don't think he's going to continue that...
Well, it depends on the game and scenario and stuff. But, like, when Volpe hit his last home run, Jacob's like, obviously, I'd rather would have seen a double.
And I understand. I get that.
Well,
because it means that
one more thing before we wrap up the Yanks. Our biggest free agent of the year, we're going to see him soon.
Yeah, we already said it.
I know, but, like, actually...
We have a date.
It's going to be soon.
We're going to... where do you guys like to be taken for a date? And
you know what, Tom? Rodon could be a true...
First date?
The true benefactor, difference maker.
Well... He was
for every series or every other series. He could really make a difference, and I'm really excited to see him. He's throwing great in the minors.
He was the one major addition the Yankees made to a '99 team that made the ALCS. They got swept, but that was the major addition. We haven't seen him yet, and now we're still not going to be full force when he gets here finally. But it is already, if he can be the Rodon that we expect him to be,
if he could be 90%
and add to this pitching rotation, then look out. Cover your butts because
that could even further our depth in the bullpen by either a Brito or a Schmidt or a Herman having to go back.
If Savvy's right, oh my God, Ratatouille! All right, so
Jake, you got something for us?
Yeah, Jacob, wrap us out, and then I got. Real quick.
Do you have the name of the Swedish guy?
I do.
Is that what you're
Our dad's Swedish friend. It was a mix. I said it was either Lars or Jensen. I have to pull it back up.
Don't tell me it was Jars. It was not Jars.
Close, but it's Jens.
Jens
Lindstrom, and awesome guy. He knew my dad, and he just would
Swedish candy. It was great.
His Facebook worked at Ostavik's Snicker Fabric, worked at Beisk Timmerstuger,
Spell Timmerstuger.
I'm not even kidding. It's Timmerstugor.
Tommy's Timmerstuger.
Worked at Frankie Futurum. Worked at Skibo. Worked at Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office.
Shout out, buddy. Shout out. Hope you've been well, James.
One of those things does not fit.
One of these things is not like the other. Okay.
Jake, what do you got for us, brother?
You got to wrap up Yankees? Wrap up game?
I wanted to do the schedule thing. We'll do that next episode.
You already said that.
I'm going to back... Yeah, I know. And then So I'm going to go off of you, Tom, and your
Good
general
luck,
question.
Smaller...
Your What's your favorite Sterling home run personalization?
Oh, wow. Good one, Jakey. You're not so bad after all.
Even though we barely let you talk today.
I had a haircut. That's not true. Go check the change log. Check. Favorite Sterling home run call. Like, I know what you mean. Like the name thing, right? His name.
Yeah.
Favorite?
Your favorite.
Like ever?
Personalized.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pick the funniest. I'm not gonna pick the funniest one because that's different. But the best, like my favorite one personally, because again, it's nostalgia, man. Nostalgia is something else.
Don't say it.
What? Shut up. You know what I'm gonna say. You know what I'm gonna say, don't you?
It, Tom.
Of course I do.
You have one guess. Go ahead.
A-bomb from A-Rod.
Ah, damn it. Jacob knows me too well. Okay, but you can't blame me as a kid laying in bed, falling asleep for the night, and I'm listening to the Yankees game, and A-Rod. Yeah. An A-bomb from A-Rod. And the Yankees are beating the Red Sox 45-0. Here comes David Ortiz, that fat mother. He's coming up, and he swings and misses. CC Sabathia. No, they wouldn't have. Yeah, they would have.
Ortiz at that point was actually cranking homers like more rapidly.
I mean, David Ortiz is awesome. Yeah. Did you guys see the video of Ortiz giving Jeter the Red Sox jersey? And Jeter's literally, it was disgusting.
So,
like, I don't.
Not my favorite, but one that I actually miss a lot is Voit.
Voit was good.
Yeah, Voit hits one to Detroit, or there's a couple variations of it. But honestly,
that was a good one. Oh, that's not your favorite? False prophet.
I said it's not. It's just one of the ones that I miss.
Oh, Jacob, do you have your favorite while Joey's thinking?
I think Gleyber Day.
I mean,
I really do.
Oh, Gleyber Day's good.
I love Gleyber Day.
I mean, I'm sorry to say this, but All Rise is just really. Here Comes the Judge. It's just so good.
Here comes the judge.
I'm gonna have to say, in a weird way, Brandon Drury. I don't know if you guys remember this. This didn't happen too often. 2018. Do you have any idea what it was?
No.
So his name's Brandon Drury.
I know.
The call was. No, that's important because the call was Aaron's the judge, but Brandon is the Drury.
Oh,
that's
oh my God!
sick.
I forgot about that, Jake.
I don't even remember that.
I totally forgot about that.
How many homers did he hit?
Not that many with the Yankees.
3.
Dude, there was a time when the Yankees third basemen were bad.
Yeah, there was also a time when the Yankees third basemen were good.
Jake.
Remember A-Rod?
They are right
decent.
now.
I miss Gio, dude. I really do. Urshela was so much
let's not
fun.
open that can of worms because I have worms at home to feed to our bearded dragon. Shout out to Thing, the name of our bearded dragon at home. No joke. He eats roaches and worms.
His name's Thing?
Name is Thing.
Middle name?
Doesn't have one. All right. I think that's going to do it for us tonight.
Because I got to go again.
Josh Donaldson, start hitting because you are a poop socket.
Carlos Rodon.
Poop wrench.
Be Carlos Rodon.
Sabres draft on Wednesday. Looking forward to that. And
Sabres for Bedard.
Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on social media.
Twitter,
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Watch the tweets. Interact with us.
Brandon Drury
MySpace
had 1 home run.
MySpace, we confirmed we do not have a MySpace. I looked.
Jacob, you want to get that going?
I checked.
Brandon Drury had 1 home run.
Did he say that once?
Tough.
I guess. Yeah,
it just really stuck
Jacob
out
goes,
in
I'm
Jacob's
actually
head.
trying to find
it's
it.
So
I can't.
Funny.
It just can't. He came up
I guess shout out to Jens. You were the OG.
Yeah.
You were the OG.
Attaboy, Jen.
All right. I think that's going to do it. Love you guys, right?
Jakey,
yeah, we're good.
Keep having a good time
Oh,
down
yeah,
there.
Jacob. Have fun in wherever you are.
Thank you.
St. Charlestonsville Island.
That's not it.
It was close. All right, brother. Love you. Be safe. Have fun. Listeners, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you guys in a couple of days.
See ya.